Of course, okay lang. Baka may mga questions kasi yung audience na walang ano, na hindi mo masagot. Pero we'll see.
Kasi may sasabihin na naman, ano ba yan, ano ng China?
Malamang,
So wala.
malamang. Just be ready.
Yes.
Deflect mo na lang kung gusto mo.
Okay.
So, I'll introduce you as a marine scientist
Yes,
of Oceana.
Yes.
Nakakailang ikot kita sa mga, wow, okay na yan. Relax na.
Okay.
Kunwari, nag-chat ka lang sa
Ganda ng
bigla.
office niyo.
Sadali. Thank you. Sana makapunta kami sa mga expeditions niyo in the future.
Pwede namin kayong tawagan.
Yeah, that would be great.
We will be having some
Saan ako titingin dito? Okay. Good afternoon. Welcome to Rappler Talk. I'm Zach Yuson. Joining us today to talk about food security, biodiversity, and a very, very interesting discovery just east of the Philippines is Marian sorry, let me get this straight. Marian Pansaniano. She is a marine scientist for Oceana, Philippines, and she's here to tell us about the Benham Bank, what they discovered recently when they were diving there, and what it means for us in terms of our future, our future and our children's future when it comes to the environment. So welcome to Rappler Talk, Marianne.
Hi.
Thank you very much for joining us. So Marianne, let's start off first with what exactly is the Benham Bank? You know, not many people know about this particular piece of I guess you can say, property or area,
Yes.
no?
Well, it's actually a part of the Benham Rise. It's an underwater mountain, and the Benham Bank is just the summit of that mountain.
Okay. So it's a very small area from a much, much larger area.
Yes.
Underwater.
Yes,
Completely underwater, no?
completely underwater. It's 50 meters on the top, deep, and then 3,000 meters down.
Okay, great.
So that deep.
And this is located where?
It's east of Luzon
Okay.
in the Pacific side.
And what does that mean in terms of, you know, why is it such a significant area? I understand it hasn't really been explored until recently, no?
Yes, we actually went on an expedition last May, and
Okay.
that is the second expedition in Benham Bank.
Only the second expedition.
Yes,
Okay.
for biological expedition
Biological
for Benham
expedition.
Bank. And so the importance of that is Benham Bank is a mesophotic reef. It's a deep reef. It's around 30 meters to 150 meters deep, and it's actually similar to our shallow reef area, but the fish there are similar. But because of what we're having right now, global climate change, very strong typhoons, it's more protected, unlike the shallow reef area.
Okay.
So,
So when you say that it's
mesophotic reef.
mesophotic reef, you mean that it's not too high up, it's not too shallow, but not too deep.
Yes.
So what does
the
it mean?
light,
that yeah,
light can
the
still
light
penetrate
can still
through
penetrate.
the waters, and so that's why there's still coral reef in the area.
Okay. So as a marine scientist, what is the importance of coral reef, and why do we need to take care of coral reefs?
Well, actually, it is the house. It's where the fish live, and so that's the importance of mesophotic reefs, because they're not that prone to destruction because of typhoon and all the other anthropogenic effects, anthropogenic causes, destruction. So we have a source, a possible source, and refuge for our fish.
Otherwise, if there were no coral reefs, where would the fish go?
So, well, there won't be
any fish at all.
anymore. Yes.
So this is interesting. So now we're going into the topic of, you know, something as basic as coral reefs can affect the source of our food, like you were telling me earlier, no?
Especially in the Philippines,
Yes.
like we are a coastal.
I see.
We have islands,
Okay.
and it's a very important source of protein for the Filipinos.
And can you tell me what is under threat now in terms of our coral reefs? What is our coral reef coverage? Has it changed in the last 10, 20 years?
Well, studies show globally that there are a lot of changes, and coral reefs are being destroyed
Okay.
because of stronger typhoons, both natural and anthropogenic.
Meaning man-made.
Man-made,
Okay.
yes, are destroying our reefs. So that's also a threat for our food security.
As a, I mean, someone who knows the science, and also as someone who loves to, I'm sure you love to dive,
Yes.
right? Are you worried
For the destruction of...
for the destruction
Yes,
of,
that's
for,
why.
for us,
Yes,
for
that's-
humankind?
Yes, that's why we're here. Oceana's here,
Mm.
trying to push for um, saving the oceans so that we can feed the world.
So tell us more about Oceana. It's an international organization.
Yes, it's an international organization. It's around 2 years old here in the Philippines. So it's an advocacy organization solely for marine conservation.
Mhm. And how did it come together, and why did you choose the Philippines?
Well, there are several parameters that are being considered by our executive committee. And then, so they chose the Philippines because it's high in biodiversity, and we also have, we produce good number of fish.
Mm-hmm.
So
What's the importance of biodiversity? I mean, if it's about producing fish, shouldn't we just produce, just in terms of food security, shouldn't we just produce the fish that grows the fastest, that yields the most population? Why is biodiversity such an important aspect of food security?
Well, it's important because we need variety. We need a higher biodiversity means stronger ecosystem. So that gives balance to the natural systems.
And just educate me. Without balance, what happens? Let's say if
There will be an imbalance. So it's possible that ecologically speaking, there would be like overpopulation of another species, extinction of some, etc., etc. So in short, there'll be destruction.
are we seeing any of that now happening?
Yes, in some areas. So we have that. We see those types of
Threats, I
threats.
guess.
Yes.
So going back to the Benham Bank, tell us what your expedition recently saw, and how you came up. How did you get that data and that the imagery that we have now?
Yeah. So well, first of all, this is the second expedition. It was fully funded by DOST PICAARD, and we have UP scientists from UP Los Baños, UP Diliman, and scientists from BIFAR
Okay.
who were with us. And Oceana is very lucky to participate in that.
So this
in
was a
that
government
Yes,
sponsored
it is.
expedition. That's great.
So, and Oceana is very privileged to
Okay.
join that, and so we've provided remotely operated vehicle and baited camera systems to get more data underwater.
Okay. Maybe we can
For
see some of
analysis.
that video just in a
Yes.
bit. You're talking about a baited camera, meaning a camera with actual food, with food
Yes,
that
with
would.
bait, yes.
Why do you need to have a baited camera?
So that the fish will be attracted to it, and so we can see what's there, what type of fish it
I
is.
think let's turn
Yes,
here. You
that's-
can see the video. So can you explain what's in this video? Wow.
It's a marble ray.
It's a marble ray. And what's that long arm on the left?
That's the pole, the Bruv's pole.
Okay.
So it's actually attached to a frame
Okay.
with two cameras.
And how deep is this spot here? Maybe-
From the data that we got, it's the stations that we deployed Bruvs.
Yeah.
It was 55 to 140 meters.
Okay. Okay. Can you give me an idea of just how big the Benham Bank is compared to, let's say, something that, some landmass, or
Well,
in terms of the size lang, just how?
I think it's the size of maybe Siargao.
Siargao, a whole island,
Yes.
whole, wow, or whole, sorry, province, the province of Siargao.
Siargao Island.
Okay, island. Okay, and how were you able to explore that area, given that it's such a deep spot? I know humans can only go up to about 30 meters.
Yes.
normally with the normal breathing apparatus. So what was different about this dive?
So we have, so we, you so an ordinary diver can go there for safety safety reasons. So we had technical divers from the Philippine Navy and Philippine Coast Guard to survey the area. We also hired, Oceana also hired technical divers to take videos and photos.
And how do they survey? Do they actually have to go and count every creature or measure the size
No,
of every creature?
for the ROV, we had a pilot who gets directed where to go. So we go like systematically choose the stations and then deploy the ROVs there, and then just go get get footage of the substrate.
So this is really like a proper Discovery Channel documentary na you really have to go and send remote vehicles or
Yes.
technical divers to go deep and
Yes.
to gather this information. Now, so now that we have this information, or well, tell me first, anything surprising, anything interesting that our viewers will want to know?
Well, for me, what's amazing about Benham is the coral coverage, especially on the depths 50 to 55 meters, 60 meters. So it's different from the branching corals that we see. What we saw in that area were foliose corals, like table. It looks like table
yeah.
corals, like layers of it. So some pictures there would
Okay.
show foliose corals. So you'd have like very vast coverage of those types of
Okay.
corals.
And those corals are I would say, I mean, how would you describe them? Are they better? Are they more resilient than the branch corals?
So they're
There, if you
yes,
picture of that.
yes. So you can see a vast expanse of table corals, and they're not destroyed.
They're not destroyed. They're still in the pristine
Yes. So
stage.
it
And we know a
means
coral
that-
takes years and years
Yes.
to get
Yes,
to even grow 1
thousands of
centimeter,
years. Yes.
right? Diba?
Would be
So like this coral here, how many years would that have?
I don't
you
know
think?
yet.
More than
So-
100 maybe?
Probably, but
Wow.
the size of it tells you that it took a very long time for them to grow
I see.
that
Okay.
big.
So that's interesting. Tell us, what is the difference between the Benham Bank and maybe other biodiverse rich sites like the Coral Triangle in Sulu near Tawi-Tawi, or any sites in the Philippines? What makes it special? Is it because it's so isolated?
Well, it's part of the Coral Triangle.
Okay, so it's
Philippines
still
is
in the
part,
Coral
yes.
Triangle. Okay.
And so what's special about it is that it's isolated and it's not yet damaged. So we have a good source and refuge for our fish. So if something happens to the shallower area.
Okay. What do we need to do to keep this rich area, this biodiverse area, protected?
Well, first of all, it's surveying the area, knowing what's there, so that we know. So once we know what's there, we know what to manage, what to protect. So the importance of the species there, the biodiversity there. So that's one
That's
thing.
one thing. Okay.
Yes. So it's good that the Philippines is having this exercise, this expedition to know more what we have.
Okay. Now that we know that, or hope, I mean, the information hasn't been processed yet, no?
Yes.
But once that information is processed, once we do have that inventory, what do we do next? What happens next?
Well, we hope that a protection would be given to Benham Bank, and like a good management will be given to Benham Rice.
So right now, there's no law that protects this area, not like other areas, no?
Not yet.
Not yet. And is it easy to get these kinds of laws passed to protect certain areas?
Well, if people would support this kind of initiative, then we can maybe convince the people who pass the law to.
So similar to, let's say, the Tubataha Natural Marine Park, you're looking for a law that will protect this particular area. Will it cover the whole Benham Bank or just that particular area?
Well, it depends on
On the lawmakers. But for you, what would you prefer?
Well, we'd prefer to um, get the Benham Bank protected. So, so that's what we hope. And so, yes.
Does it mean that I don't know, if the Benham Bank is protected, the rest of the Benham rice should also be protected, or can, because we also know that there are other activities outside of the Benham Bank.
Well, we hope that it gets good management
I see.
plan.
Okay.
So,
So, let me ask you this question: can conservation and protection of natural resources coexist with, let's say, energy exploration and other uses of marine, like fishing,
Yes.
and other experts like
yes,
wave
I think
generation?
so.
You
Yes,
think-
I think so.
you think
yes,
so?
it will.
Have there been
can.
good models for this in other parts of the world?
I haven't seen one yet,
But you believe it can coexist, naman?
well, hopefully it can.
You don't sound very optimistic. Yeah. Actually, we have a question from Alistair J. Lee from Twitter. But it's okay if you let me know if you can answer this. Does the Benham rice have more potential when it comes to resources than in the South China Sea?
Well, I'm
Not
not
sure,
in
no,
the
because
position
it's still
to
under
answer.
exploration, I
Yes.
think, at this point.
Well,
But definitely in terms of marine resources and biodiversity, it's very, very rich. No?
yes. Well, not. It depends on the data.
Ay,
Yeah.
sorry, yeah.
But Benham rice is very, very big.
Okay,
That and Benham Bank is just a small
part of that.
part of that.
I see.
So a well-managed area can probably give good resources for the Philippines.
Mhm. Now tell me, from a conservation and protection perspective, aside from having the right laws, how should we be educating the public, especially the next generation, since we're talking about food security? What should we be teaching children and young people about our marine resources and how to protect them?
Well, what we should know is that it's not limitless.
Mm.
If we don't take care of it, it will we won't have food for the future.
Mhm.
So if we manage it properly, then we can be sure that we have food for today, we have food for tomorrow. So that's,
It's as simple as that.
but it's not very easy to do.
Mm.
Simple things like don't throw your garbage properly would really
Why? What's
help.
the connection with if I throw garbage or if I throw a candy wrapper on the street or let's say outside of my car?
Well, it causes flood. It causes a lot of stuff. So imagine if you throw something and there other people would also throw garbage just anywhere. So eventually it will cause flood. It will cause, and then this is connected to the oceans.
How so?
Well, it causes so this can what do you call this? This would run what do you call this? Over.
Would it pollute?
Well,
Could it pollute the
pollutes-
ocean?
Yeah, it will pollute the oceans. It will give toxins to the toxic to
I
the
see.
oceans.
The fish might eat,
Yes. Yes.
let's say,
It's possible.
these toxins or these plastics
It's
that get thrown
possible.
into the ocean. I read somewhere that the Philippines is actually very, very polluted when it comes to our oceans. The garbage that is thrown into the sea somehow manages to circulate in Philippine waters. So definitely there is a real threat, no, to our marine resources, to long-term sustainability. How would you rate or how would you say the threat? How big is the threat, siguro? Is there any way to measure that?
I have no idea for the whole Philippines, but there are in different places there are people,
Yeah.
organizations, and even the local government would push for better protection for their own areas. So if we have all those kinds of people all over the Philippines, then we would be sure that we'd have a healthier and cleaner food source
Okay.
and better health for the Filipinos.
Are you still optimistic?
Yes, that's why I'm still here.
Why? Why should we be optimistic given the threats, given the challenges facing our country when it comes to, well, not just in marine protection, but overall environmental protection? Our
Well,
forest cover is not that great. Of course, as you know, coral reefs are under threat, mangroves are under threat. Why do you
well,
remain optimistic?
well, it's because we have environmental organizations like Oceana. We have the government is doing something
Okay, so that's good. That's a
for
good sign.
us.
Yeah.
We're having expeditions like this, knowing what we have, what we still have, and what we can protect.
Mhm.
And there are a lot of great Filipino scientists that knows can recommend what to do
Mhm.
if we just follow that. The government follows that, and then we have media to help us like educate people, that people know that we have this, so all those people working
Together.
together will make will give us a better chance at surviving.
But okay, thank you. I think I will be optimistic based on what you said. But what are the challenges now? I mean, it's not, of course we're not in an ideal world, no. So what are the challenges facing us, and how do you think we should go about, addressing these challenges? Siguro, what is the priority?
Well, there's a lot of challenges.
Of course, yeah, yeah.
Communication would be a very big one. So I think if we talk, start discussing, be open-minded, everybody be open-minded, then that would be a good starting point.
Mm-hmm. What else? How, in terms of, like you mentioned a while ago, laws are, it's definitely something that we need to enact. Um, are there any challenges with regards to conflicts of, interest, or in terms of people, the pressure for people, let's say even just people living in coastal communities to live, because cyanide fishing is still a problem,
Yes.
dynamite fishing is still a problem. How do you change that mindset na, instead of dynamite fishing, you have to protect coral reefs so that you can get more food?
Yes. So well, it's well, better awareness would be one thing. So educating people is also a very important tool for us to be aware and to know what we have, to appreciate what we have. So that's another.
It's really, at the end of the day, it boils down to education, right?
Yes, it's education.
So now, I guess this is probably a last question. What can people like me, individuals, people who are watching this, what can we do? Can we volunteer? Should we? Is there a way for us to get directly involved, or should I write a letter to, let's say, my local mayor? What are the things, concrete steps that people can do?
Well, to start with, we need to be educated.
Educated. Okay.
We can ask, you can maybe visit our site. We have a Facebook page.
What's
we
the?
also,
Do you know
we
the
also
address?
have www.ph.oceana.org. We have different awareness materials there. We also have visiting that. We also have a question. A page there where you can contact us. So getting involved. I know different LGUs would have their different activities for their coastal areas. So participating, being open, just open-minded, helping on your little ways. So that's.
And little ways, little things add up.
Yes.
Hopefully, not throwing your trash
Yes.
in the street, putting it
Anywhere.
in the proper bin,
Yes.
will help even the small fishes.
Discipline.
Discipline, basically, at the end of the day, and education.
Yes.
Okay, thank you very much, Marian Pansaniano from the Oceana, Philippines. Thank you for enlightening us, and what a great video. I hope we can join you in your next expedition. Please do send us your videos, and if you have any other questions, you can always tweet them or follow them on their Facebook page. That was a Rappler Talk with Marian Pansaniano from Oceana, Philippines today on food security and biodiversity and what it means for us in the coming decades. Thank you for joining us.